Ella sat cross-legged in front of her latest acquisition, a grand Victorian-style dollhouse. Its paint was slightly chipped, and the tiny curtains looked as if they had seen better days. But it was enchanting, nonetheless. She couldn't shake the feeling that this one was special. As she leaned closer, adjusting the miniature furniture, Ella noticed a slight movement out of the corner of her eye. Ella's heart skipped a beat as she watched a tiny figure within the dollhouse stroll across the parlor. The figure paused, turned, and seemed to tip its tiny hat in her direction.
Did it just?
Ella murmured to herself, disbelief tinged with excitement. She watched as the rooms began to shift, walls sliding silently, rearranging themselves like pieces of a puzzle. Ella couldn't tear her eyes away from the tiny world inside the dollhouse. She noticed that it was beginning to mirror her own home, her favorite blue sofa, the old grandfather clock, even the potted plant she kept by the window.
This is impossible,
she whispered, her voice barely audible over the ticking of the clock. Yet, the evidence was undeniable. Determined to uncover the truth, Ella reached for the dollhouse, her fingers trembling slightly.
Who are you?
She demanded, her voice firm despite the unease creeping in. As if in response, the tiny figures gathered in the dollhouse's living room, their faces turned towards her, their expressions inscrutable. In a moment of clarity, Ella realized the dollhouse was not just a plaything, but a conduit to something greater, a connection between worlds.
I understand,
she said softly, feeling a strange sense of peace wash over her. The figures seemed to nod in unison, acknowledging her acceptance. Ella smiled as she gently closed the dollhouse, the figures inside returning to their places. She knew her life was forever changed, intertwined with the enchanting world within the dollhouse. As she turned to leave, she glanced back once more.
Thank you,
she whispered, gratitude in her heart for the unexpected adventure.